Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Veera Cloud Architect. Today we are going to see EC2, AWS EC2, which is also called Elastic Compute Cloud. So what is Elastic Compute Cloud? Actually, we go for AWS to get servers and storage mostly. So we can get from micro to supercomputer power, we can get it from AWS. So there are many varieties of servers available in AWS, and all the servers will be created as a image, and from that OS images we can launch a virtual servers. So let me tell what is EC2. It's a compute service, flexible service that provides resizable cloud-based compute capacity. So which means we can increase the type of the server at any point of time, and we can create simultaneously thousands of servers. And we can get all those servers from pay-as-you-go pricing or different contract level servers as well. We can get it from the cloud. So let me get into the demo part today. So this is my AWS console, where we can get select the services, and you can find all the services available. There are about like 130 plus services available right now. So the first service available in AWS is EC2. So let me choose EC2 and choose instances. Instances are also called virtual machines, and we can say virtual servers. Launch instance to start new instance. There are seven steps available to create a instance. So first one is to choose a AMI and then instance type, and then we can configure the networking part, and then add the storage and tags, nothing but name, and security group. Finally review and launch your instances. So all these instances can be created from images. So the images would have a software part like OSs and other supporting applications will be there as a package of images. So the images in AWS is called AMIs, Amazon Machine Image. So we can have our own images as well. We can create one server. From that server we can get a image. That one will be there in a my AMI part. So currently I don't have any AMIs, so it will be a blank. So we have a like AWS marketplace is a kind of different vendors will be having, they have created their certain specific servers with us certain specifications, where we can choose those servers as well, or we can get it from the community AMI. So there are different third party people, they have created their own instances. From that also we can select it. So for this demo I'm choosing free tier, which is available. So here we can find many AMIs. So this is Amazon Linux to AMI, and we have Red Hat Linux is available, and SUSE Linux. Likewise we have Ubuntu server, Windows server. So there are many free tier eligible images available. For this demo I'm choosing AWS Linux machine. Select it, and then here there are type of instances. So there are many sort of type available, from nano, micro, and there are many sort of servers. So the free tier eligible is T2 micro. Rest all the server types are is going to cost you. So most commonly used the types are the M5 large and C5 large is a compute power, which is C5 large. Those instances commonly used. You can select the instance type from here. So micro instance, general purpose instance, and GPU instances, memory optimized, storage optimized. There are many. So for this demo I'm choosing a T2 micro, and it has one virtual CPU, and there's one CPU they will be creating for this instance, and 1 GB of RAM. So our RAM is for this server is just 1 GB. So I'm selecting this configure instance. So we are going to the third part of this launch instance. So number of instances you can like same time we can create a multiple instance as well. If it is in a same VPC, so we can create a multiple instances. So this is the VPC part we can choose. Our previous video we have seen how to create a instances, okay, sorry, VPCs. So I have created already one VPC, demo VPC. I'm choosing that one, and then inside that VPC we have a public and private subnet. For this is going to be a web server, so I am choosing a public server. And then so if you have already a elastic IP, we can get that IP for our instance, but for now I don't have any public IP, so I am asking them to assign a public IP. For that we have to enable this option, auto assign IP. If we enable, we will get a public IP for this instance. So it's already enabled. So next, storage is a hard disk of our instance. So the hard disk is 8 GB of hard disk for this instances. So I am choosing a public general purpose SSD hard disk. We have provisioned as well, so but for this I am going to select general purpose and then add tags. Tags are nothing but names, so I am going to give a name. Come on. And then web server. Next part is security group. Security group is nothing but the port available for this server. Basically all the ports will be disabled by default, so we have to open the port. So for this since it is a Linux server, so Linux servers can be connected through SSH port. So I am enabling the port SSH. Support number is default is 22. And for this server, my laptop doesn't have any static IP, so I'm going to give as a anywhere. Okay, if you are using from your environment, probably you may have a static IP, so that static IP range you can give it here. So from only that range only you can create a instances, sorry, connect your servers. Then review and launch instance. And if you have a key already, you can create that key, otherwise you can use that key, otherwise you can create your own new key pair. So I will give you a new key pair, and key pair name is demo. Download a key pair. So actually I have already a key name called demo, so I will rename this one. It's a web server. Web server key. So I have downloaded a web server key for this instance, launch instance. So it will take at least 1 to 2 minutes to launch. After that only we can access the server. So the status check has to do the double check. So 2 status checks has to complete. After that only we can access this server. So meanwhile, let me show you in Google, if you search git bash download, you can get a, so let me type git bash download. So from that we can get a interface to connect our server. So if you have a putty in your Windows, you can use the putty to connect your server, but I am very much comfortable with git bash, so I'm let me show you how to download. So select this option and then we can download the git bash for Windows. So you can choose the Windows option and the git bash will be downloaded. And once you have installed, the git bash will be ready to access. So already I have a git bash, so I have taken from there. So like let me clear this window. This is my git bash window. So first we have to give the readable permission for our key. chmod readable permission is 400 and the key name which is webserver .pem. So I have given a readable permission. After that we have to connect our instances. So select our instance. This is a web server. Still it is running, it's not initialized yet. So once this one get initialized, we can go for it. In the meanwhile, we can see the description. So this is my web server description. So you can go the bottom of this window. You can find this is the instance ID and instance type is T2 micro, and this is my private IP which I have given in my VPC, and this is my public IP. I have asked them to assign my public IP, so this is the IP I have got it, so which is a dynamic IP. If I stop this instance, this dynamic IP will change, so we have to be careful when we are stopping the instance, so the IP will be changed, so we have to change the IP as well. This is my VPC ID, subnet ID, and we have a security group which has a SSH connection as well. So that's like, this is our hard disk root devices. So that's all our description. So by this time it will be initialized, so it takes a lot of time today. It's a bit strange. So usually it takes only 2 minutes for the AWS Linux machine. So and we can see like, this is our DNS, public DNS name they have allocated for us, and the key name is web server for this instance, and the launch time we have launched by 12 p.m. Today. So this is the description for these instances. So now it is ready, so we can connect it. So select here, so choose your instance and then connect. So here you can find the this step we have done already, chmod 400 and our key name, and then the example line you can copy and paste it in your git bash window. Copy, and let me go to my interface called git bash. So I am pasting it here. Let me type yes. So my instance is connected right now. So like actually once we have connected our instance, they are asking us to do the update, because this image has taken maybe a month ago or few months ago. So meanwhile they might have got some patch updates. So to update those things, so we have to do sudo m update. So it's now completed. Actually my server is now ready, and we can use our we can use this server as a web server or anything. So if you wanted to convert this as a web server, so I'm going to convert this as a web server. So I'm going to install Apache on it. So for that yum install httpd, which is for Apache. So sudo do the check config, chk config httpd on, and then server service httpd start. So let me change into sudo user, sudo su, yeah, now my service is started. So if I go into my browser and if I give my public IP, I can see whether so if I give this IP, so actually I did a mistake. So actually we need a HTTP the port to be opened, because we have opened only SSH port. That's why my web page is not coming up. So go to web security group and edit inbound rule with HTTP. Then we can access the web page. So select the security group and then edit inbound rules, and in the inbound rule add rule HTTP, because it's not a secure page, so I'm choosing only HTTP, and I'm giving anywhere because the users can come from anywhere to access my web page. So same rules. So my security group has updated with the HTTP. Now I can get my web page. So this is my web page, test page. So I can create one index page so that I can get my page. Otherwise, like, we will get a test page. So let me go to my CLI window. So I have to go to Apache root, which is var www/html. So here I have to create a index.html. So I'm putting hello world. This is my test page. So again I am just starting the service http restart. So my service is started now. So if I go to my page and refresh the screen again, so I can get my web page. So this is how we can create a server and we can launch as a web server. So thank you guys, thank you for today. Please do subscribe my channel and please do support. Thanks a lot.